I don't know why the lighting in my room is a little bit weird today. It kind of has this bluish tint. It feels like I'm in the music video of I'm Blue. What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB offseason recap. Sooner rather than later, we're going to be able to drop the offseason part of that intro because the Super Bowl is officially over. What does that mean? Baseball season is back. Spring training starts in less than 2 weeks, and I don't know if you caught it, but there was actually a baseball moment in the Super Bowl. So when the Buccaneers were about to win, I think his name is Winfield Jr. I could be botching his name, but he gives a peace sign to Tyreek Hill. He was not taunting Mr. Hill. He was actually giving his best Zach Greinke impression. So yeah, little did you know, there was a little Easter egg hinting at baseball being back. So that was awesome. Obviously, that's a joke. I know that he was taunting because that's the kind of touchdown celebration of Tyreek Hill. I'm not stupid. So we have a lot to talk about today. The Martian, aka Jasson Dominguez, he just turned 18 years old, and it kind of set the Twitter world ablaze. The entire baseball community is thinking, how is this kid 18 years old? We'll talk about him, as well as Trevor Bauer. He had to apologize to the entire Mets franchise. The Reds picked up a former superstar, and then we'll go ahead and talk about the top 5 remaining free agents left on the market. So without further ado, let's start talking baseball. So for whatever reason, when I put out this tweet kind of questioning if Jasson Dominguez actually turned 18 or not, I got a little bit of slack from a guy saying that I was being quote-unquote offensive, and I wasn't trying to say that Jasson Dominguez looks like he's older because he's from a different country. I'm saying that he doesn't look 18 because the man is absolutely jacked out of his mind. There was a former USC baseball player, I don't remember when he played, but I used to interact with him, and I just did not think that he was the nicest guy because he was so buff and so full of himself. I thought, this guy does not look like he's 18 years old. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter if it's Tyler from California or Jasson from the Dominican Republic. I am not trying to be offensive. I'm just saying the kid is absolutely jacked. He is the Zion Williamson of Major League Baseball. I believe that he is going to be an absolute monster. But yeah, he turned 18. But to me, because of how huge he is, he doesn't look that. He has muscles on top of his muscles. And he's getting comparisons to Mickey Mantle, all of these other legendary players, which to me, I would not want because that is so much pressure. The holes that he's going to have to fill are so immense that I kind of feel bad for him. Can we just allow him to develop and go from there? I mean, he's pretty much got the most press since Bryce Harper. I believe in my heart that he's gonna be special, so please let me know in the comment section down below, what is your opinion on the Martian, as they call him, Jasson Dominguez? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna break down the apology from Trevor Bauer over on Twitter because a lot of Mets fans, they were upset because he kind of trolled them, but it wasn't supposed to work out that way. I talked about it a little bit in my video, and unfortunately I had to take that down. So for right now, this apology from Bauer over on Twitter is the only thing that we have to work off, and it's a lengthy one. Mets fans, I owe you an explanation and an apology. My intention this entire offseason was to engage with fans in ways that made the offseason and free agent process more interesting, in which he did. A lot of people were annoyed by it, but he definitely made it more interesting and engaging. I woke up early on Friday not knowing what my decision would be and spent the next 5 hours on the phone with my representation team trying to figure out exactly where he was going to go. I don't know how to read, apparently. I wasn't on social media or my website as my marketing and digital team was managing both at the same time, so I didn't see what happened until after the fact. He's talking about the leaks of Mets gear and the link being posted to his Instagram. I've taken some time over the last 2 days to figure it out, and I take full responsibility for the mistakes outlined below. In the spirit of transparency, here's what happened. Throughout the free agency process, my team prepared marketing materials for multiple organizations. As we saw in the video, we saw a Mets jersey, we saw a Blue Jays jersey, there was probably some Angels or Giants content in there, and he didn't know where or when he would sign. In order to be prepared for a moment that could materialize very quickly, we had uploaded many of those to my website on the back end. The plan was not to have those pages live until a decision had been made, which is obviously not what happened. This was the first mistake. The plan was to release a link to my website and the appropriate materials via Linktree on my Instagram page once my decision was finalized. Unfortunately, that link was posted in error well before any decision had been made. That was the second mistake. Understandably, the link was quickly discovered and began to spread on social media. The resulting confusion is understandable and regrettable. My intention was never to mislead or troll your fan base, nor was it to troll you in any way. Okay, so I just got ahead of myself. I had a fantastic time engaging with fans from many teams over the last few months, and Mets fans priced to be as passionate and energetic as bunch as any. So so you get the point. So for the most part, Trevor Bauer admitted that his intentions were pure, but that the execution of it was not good. And I will say that I was texting with him throughout the day and with his team. It was a complete accident. It was not supposed to happen. He was not trolling the Mets franchise. And he said it that on the morning of Friday when he chose to go to the Dodgers, 5 hours prior, he did not have any idea in which any team that he was going to suit up for. It could have been the Angels, it could have been the Blue Jays, it could have been the Giants, it could have been any other team aside from the Dodgers, and they had multiple videos, they had multiple merch lines scheduled, and unfortunately, because they were trying to get the back end of their link tree and their website all set up, that unfortunately, while someone was live, they saw that Mets gear was about to get posted and be available on the website, so Mets fans were thinking this is a done deal, and then when you combine that with Bob Nightingale saying that the deal was done, unfortunately, it was a shitstorm. I don't mean to cuss. I never do that. I know that this is supposed to be a family-friendly channel, but that's essentially what it was for the Trevor Bauer camp, and I feel bad for him because in his heart, he is a good guy. He gets a lot of flack online, and rightfully so at times. He can be a little bit controversial, and I'm not trying to defend the things that he's done in the past, but off the field and to me and all the other YouTubers and just growing the game of baseball, I think he's a net positive to the game, and unfortunately, this blunder really set the city of New York ablaze. Everyone's coming for him, but hopefully this Twitter thread can really show 2 and 2 does not always mean 4. It's not always as straightforward as it's made out to be. He did not try to troll the city of New York, but unfortunately, that's just the way that it came out. So let me know, what do you make of Trevor Bauer? Are you going to be cheering for him? Are you going to be rooting against him? It's kind of up in the air right now. We're going to go ahead and move on to a Reds free agency signing. They pick up D. Strange Gordon, who has not been good since 2017. He's had a 77 combined OPS plus over the last 3 seasons with Seattle. So pretty much he has been robbing them point blank, but I wanted to bring it up because he was a former superstar player, one of the more talked about players in baseball not too long ago, but now, he's kind of an afterthought. Last but not least, let's go ahead and talk about the 5 best remaining free agents left on the market. We have Justin Turner. I believe that he's going to go back to the Dodgers or return to his former team, the New York Mets. We have James Paxton, Jackie Bradley Jr., Taijuan Walker, and Jake Odorizzi. Let me know your opinions on those 5 players, and then also to end today's video, I want to say rest in peace, rest in power to Pedro Gomez. When I was growing up, he was one of my favorite reporters in all of baseball. There was just the way that he carried himself, the way that he spoke about the game of baseball. I knew that he was passionate about it, and for whatever reason, he just did not strike me as a Chris Russo or a John Heyman, someone that was so just rigid and just condescending. Gomez is definitely going to be missed. I just wanted to go ahead and end today's video and just say he's not going to be forgotten. Thank you all so much for watching. Call your family, spend as much time with them as possible, but be safe about it because you never know when the last day could come. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.